Hello, hello, hello. So something just a little bit different. One, you can see my face. Maybe it's because I've had an outward facing day all day today. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull one card and see what this card has to tell us. I'll probably look it up in the guidebook because this isn't my most used deck. So we're kind of new in the relationship. Let's see what we got. We've got the Goblin, a wounded human ego. So I know for a fact that many of us as healers and light workers, and if you found yourself on this video, then you too are probably on the healing journey, helping others heal, helping yourself to heal, expanding, right? So the wounded human ego can be something as simplistic as us donning a new perspective or a new understanding, right? The ego likes to put things in its own words that it's familiar with and kind of keep it in a box, so to speak. It's very uncomfortable in the unknown, right? Like it doesn't like the gray area at all, black or white, yes or no, right? That's kind of how our ego flows. Well, as we begin to work with our ego, as we begin to remind our ego that, it is safe to experience us for a change instead of us experiencing the ego, right? It can feel sort of wounded and become more defensive and more prominent, therefore creating more separation and division between our own self within ourselves. The two parts of the whole begin to butt heads, but it can also create division and separation between those very people that we love the most, right? So most recently during my ego work, I named my ego, right? I wanted to name it something soft and kind and peaceful, like humility or something like that. And through meditation, what I found was my ego's name is Jane. Now I'm thinking plain Jane, right? Back against the wall, wallflower. But I walk into the room and my husband says, I tell him, oh, I named my ego and her name is Jane. And he's like, you mean like Calamity Jane? Which is fucking hilarious, right? Because Calamity Jane was a woman in the Wild West who was ahead of her time. She wore pants, she played poker, she robbed stagecoaches, she did all of this insanity because she made a really lousy whore, right? She did not fit in the brothels, but she also wasn't that maiden who got married and had children and did what her husband told her, right? So that sort of fits my ego. May those who know me be laughing right now. But back to the card. So it is card number 31 of the Wisdom of Avalon deck by Colette Baron Reed. So the Goblin says, when the Goblin appears on your path, your plans are or are about to go awry. The Goblin wants to lead you astray and whispers the negative spell of fear, anger, resentment, self-righteousness, arrogance, selfishness, greed, gluttony, procrastination, and addiction, right? Our ego gets like wounded and begins to stand up and cause us all kinds of trouble and strife as we continue to awaken and heal and look at things from a new perspective. Maybe even as simplistic as, well, not simple for me because I can barely speak English, but as simple as learning another language. Like the ego wants to keep falling back on what the words mean in their native language, right? And begins to confuse things as you learn the new language and the new words, if that makes any sense. I hope it does. But the book goes on to say that when the Goblin appears, it's time to stop what you're doing and check your motives. Are you coming from an ego-centered place? Are the circumstances in your life triggering unresolved past issues that still need healing? Now is the time for self-evaluation and taking inventory before you take another step. The Goblin represents the wounded ego and its influence. Dark, repressed areas of the psyche get triggered, either in you or warning you of a dynamic between you and someone else. Do nothing, stay still, send loving energies to yourself and others, and remember that the divine connection in all things. The goblin will disappear and lose power when you focus on love and fairness. So we're never to try to eradicate our ego, right? It's about becoming friends with your ego. It's about allowing your ego to experience you and trusting that you're not going to cause yourself harm. Like, our ego grows along with us, right? So it's learned to try to protect us, to keep things in line, to keep us safe. And now that we're doing things in a different way, it's like, whoa, hold the phone. We don't go there. We don't interact with them. We don't do this. We stay right here and we do it this way. So this card is a reminder to, like, keep going, keep healing, befriend that part of you that stands in your way and wants to create division and separateness in a way to keep you safe. Right? So there's your card for the day. I hope I didn't ramble too long, and I know for sure I gave too much information. And that's what happens when I'm in flow. Have a wonderful day.